Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I will be changing out the alternator and serpentine belt on a 2000 Ford Ranger XLT. This has the 2.5 liter engine with a manual transmission. So first off, number one thing you'll want to do, it's for safety, is disconnect the battery. It's typically going to be a 1/2 inch or a 13 millimeter. You can remove this whole air filter housing here. How you will do that is there's a flat-headed screwdriver. Go ahead and loosen this up here, and you have two electrical connections that you'll want to disconnect. Push down the tab, pull this out, and then you right here you just push down and pull out as well. And then down here, you can see this tab right here where my finger is. There's one on each side, so there's one right over there where I'm pointing. You just push those in and lift up. And then this whole piece here, once you've done that, will just lift out or just pull back toward the driver's side. Now that the battery is disconnected and you have the air filter housing removed, you'll want to come down here. You'll need a 3/8 ratchet wrench, and this will go right into this slot here, and then you will pull it to your left. So that would be toward the passenger side of the vehicle, and it will, I'll show you here, it'll bring the tensioner toward you like that, and you'll be able to remove the belt. So once the serpentine belt is removed, there are 3 connections on the alternator that you will need to remove. First, you'll remove this connector. Use a small flat-headed screwdriver. Slip it right in there between the alternator and the clip. Barely push it in and then pull that connector off. Next, you will have to remove the power lead. For this, you will need to double check and make sure the battery is disconnected. And the bolt on the back side of that power lead, you'll have to, there's a boot covering the power lead, a rubber boot, and the bolt underneath it is it's actually a nut, but it is a 10 millimeter nut. And then from there you have your 3rd connection. So let's see if I can show you here. I took this flat-headed screwdriver, and while it was plugged into the alternator, I was able to get it right here. And then I just twisted it. Just gave it a twist and then pulled out the connector. Now that you have all 3 electrical connections disconnected, you can now loosen this bolt and 2 underneath the alternator. They're just directly, they're parallel to each other. You can loosen all those. You may use a 1/2 inch wrench or a 13 millimeter. I will go ahead and install this and then check the charging system. Basically, you're just going to go in reverse. The same way you took it out, you will put it back in. And place the alternator down through this hole here, and be careful not to hit these heater core hoses. Well, at least not to put too much force on them, because this fitting right here is plastic and you could break it. Same thing for these areas here. Now I have the alternator back in position. I have all 3 bolts started, and you will want to torque all 3 of these down to 31 foot-pounds. And be sure when you're putting your main battery lead back on the alternator that you are not that you don't over tighten it. It is very easy to over tighten those. There we have it. Our brand new alternator is all buttoned up and installed, along with a brand new Gates serpentine belt. And now I will go ahead and put the air filter housing back on. Remember to tighten the flathead, that tightens this down. And then you have 2 electrical connectors that plug in, this one and this one here. And then you should be good to go. Thank you for watching.